What's good, people? It's your boy Mac Attack back with some more boxing news, views, and opinions. And today, what I want to talk about is what we not talking about, right? Sound crazy, right? But listen, sometimes you gotta think outside the box. And not only that, but sometimes everybody get on the topic on YouTube. Sometimes everybody get on the topic in the mainstream, which is hot trash, dumpster juice. You know what I'm saying? Boxing live on YouTube. Shout out to Everything Boxing, my boy Key. But everybody get on the topic. So here in Mac World, you know, we like to do a little bit of grocery shopping and shit. You know, we ain't just getting salt and pepper, or we ain't just gonna serve you some shit with no seasoning. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that in Mac World, right? We like to go really get some fresh ingredients, you know. We like to get the right seasonings, you know. And we like to really cook so we could eat. When I serve y'all, I want to give y'all something nice and hearty, put some meat on y'all bones. You feel me? So check it out. What we gonna talk about is what boxing is not talking about. So the first thing I notice is this. Errol Spence, right? Biggest name in the sport. And this is why I say Errol Spence is the biggest name in the sport. Because Spence is causing a shift in the whole landscape of boxing. When he say he moved to 154, people start replanning their careers around him, fighting him. They planning their careers around what his next move is gonna be. He the man that everybody is calling out. And so let's look at the Bud Crawford thing, right, where he say nobody ain't calling him out because, you know, nobody want to fight him because they scared of his skills or something like that. You could say that about everybody, because you remember when everybody was calling out Mayweather, right? Mayweather wasn't looking vulnerable. Mayweather wasn't looking beatable. All Mayweather was looking like was the biggest fighter in the sport. But everybody was calling him out. Even people that knew they couldn't beat him, they were still calling him out. Why is that? Because he was the biggest name in the sport. It was almost like calling Mayweather out was a rite of passage. You know what I'm saying? It was like you call him out right when you got your nuts up. I can beat Floyd Mayweather. Everybody wanted to fight him. Not even in his division. You never heard no fights being mentioned with all these different people in all these different weight classes, from Canelo to, you know what I'm saying, even to Floyd Mayweather, because that's where his legend go back to, is giving Mayweather the sparring match. You know what I'm saying? You never heard nobody name being called out by so many people like it's being called out right now. And you got to think he undefeated, and he looking good in every fight. You know what I'm saying? He breaking people down in every fight. So he is shifting the landscape of boxing. Plus he with Al Heyman. Right now, it's looking like he Al Heyman's #1 fighter, like right-hand fighter. As far as, you know, that money fight, he got him with them stadiums. I say Al Heyman's biggest fighter gonna get the biggest venues, and EJ getting them stadiums down there. He getting that stadium. He doing EJ right. He doing right by him. You know what I'm saying? So people don't want to see that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got that Harvard graduate, prolific legend, living legend in your corner. People don't want to see that shit, man. Biggest name in boxing. Another thing people ain't talking about, Adrien Broner. Alright, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go two ways with Broner, right? It's something I like about him, and it's something I don't like about him. I like that he seemed to be more humble, because I hate when I feel like he just start acting like he got plantation mind and shit, and he just feel like he gotta act like society expect him to act. Like, you know how to act like you could conduct yourself in a certain setting. You don't gotta act like you always gotta be turned up. You always gotta be using foul language and all that. You always gotta be just, you know, doing something to generate some attention or whatever, because you're gonna have a lot of people around you that are not of your race and of your background that's gonna encourage you to do it in your face and talk shit about you behind your back. Bars. You know what I'm saying? That's what they always do. They encourage you to, oh yeah, oh, it's lit. But then they go back and talk shit about you behind your back. So I like that he kind of wising up, conducting himself better. But this is what I don't like. I think he just doing it because he fat. He doing it because he fat, and he know he finna go out here and be disappointing, man. He know he finna go out here, he ain't finna let his hands go. Man, at last I seen him, man, that belly was looking big. And even if he trying to starve himself to get it down and he go out there, you know what I'm saying, all weight drained and shit, all he gonna do is go out there and get knocked out. It's stupid because nobody finna watch 3 pay-per-views and you get knocked out. Now, this is what people not talking about it specifically though. Why is Broner fighting in Nebraska? Why is Broner fighting in Nebraska? Is Adrien Broner from Nebraska? Hell the fuck no, he ain't from Nebraska. Is Hank Lundy or his new opponent, or was Ivan Redcatch from Nebraska? Hell the fuck no, neither one of them ain't from Nebraska. So why is Broner fighting in Nebraska? He fighting in Nebraska because the way that boxing work now, and I'm trying to stress this shit to people that don't know shit about the way the business side work. Don't nobody want to be a promoter. That shit dead. Promoting fighters directly. What you finna get out here with a street team and slap up some posters and stickers? Hell the fuck no. So don't nobody want to be a direct fighter promoter. And what happened is, if you an old school promoter like Bob Arum or Oscar De La Hoya, you have to sign your fighter over, their rights over to another promotion in order for them to fight with that promotion. But if the promoter is somebody like PBC or BOK Prime or something like that, that only promote events, it ain't no promoter to sign them over to. You know what I'm saying? So that leave it to where you have to be your own promoter, or you have to get a promoter that can act as the entity they can do business with, because that's the only way they doing business.
Explain to the fighters that's coming up, right? These fighters that's coming up. Explain to them, what does a fighter have to do in the sport of boxing in 2022? I know you guys were explaining to them what that is, because you talked about fighters being an independent contractor. They fill out the 1099, which I do as well. For those who don't know, explain that to me about fighters being 1099s, independent contractors, and stuff like that, as it relates to working with promoters.
Meaning they work for themselves. They got to pay their own taxes. Mm-hmm. They their own businessman. Mm-hmm. And so for a fighter, they need to form an LLC first of all, and sign themselves to their own company so that they can get the tax benefits to write it off. Otherwise, they give Uncle Sam money. They give 20% to their manager, 25% to the promoter. They're gonna be broke if they don't put it in the corporation. So that's why they just gotta form themselves into an LLC.
Okay, so.
You know what I'm saying? It's like record labels now. Don't nobody sign directly to a record label. Everybody got their own imprint. And then that imprint, like Bread Gang or Sniper Gang or Young Money or whatever, signs to the bigger label. Don't nobody sign directly to shit no more. And that's why promoting is dead. You know what I'm saying? All these industries are the same. I keep up with the video game industry too. Same thing with the video game industry. You got big publishers like EA buying out smaller companies, Bungie, you know what I'm saying? Arcane, all type of shit. It's a big thing with them right now going on about them acquiring Activision Blizzard to Microsoft, because they make Call of Duty. But I'm kind of getting off the subject, back to this boxing. I be on all type of shit, man. The way we work in Macworld, man, we cover everything. Culture, electronics, you know what I'm saying? Technology, everything. We own it. You know what I mean? Like, we own that shit, right? But anyway, yeah. So they ain't talking about that. Broner fighting in Nebraska, and he got Hank Lundy. Hank Lundy wasn't active. He got knocked out. He lost 6 of his last 8 fights. That's a discount fight. I'm willing to bet they're not gonna show they're not really gonna talk about the deal and how they got Hank Lundy or what exactly was brokered to get him so quick. But I'm willing to bet you they gave him a big upfront payment. Like, not big in the sense of like it was a real big payday, but like it was something up front and they was willing to give it to him. Like this is what I'm guessing they gave Hank Lundy. They gave him the $35,000 that Ivan Redcat's manager was trying to get. See, these numbers always gotta match up, right? It's like how you keep hearing that sum of 10 million popping up, and you see Bud got 10 million for one fight, Broner got 10 million for 3 fights. Like these numbers are always adding up, man. I know so much about this business shit, man. It's crazy, right? So I bet you Hank Lundy, they told him probably something like, man, we'll give you like 35 G's, like up front, you know what I'm saying? One lump sum, boom, to fight. And 35,000 ain't shit. But if they giving it to you up front, you ain't been fighting, you been getting knocked the fuck out, you ain't been having nobody else giving you no upfront payment, and that's how they entice uneducated fighters who don't know about residuals and shit like that. Yeah, we'll give you this big lump sum right up front. Okay, I'm the greatest, I'm my own boss. You know what I'm saying? All that shit like that. So that's what we ain't talking about. And the last thing I want to touch on is, so I'm peeping that interview with Ivan Redcat, and he talking about, it's his wife translating, talking about the situation with BLK Prime. And basically, she kind of danced around it, I think because she was hoping there was still some hope of them working with BLK Prime directly, because they were putting a lot of the onus on his manager, Joe DeGuardio. But a lot of that was BLK Prime backdooring Ivan Redcat, and I can prove that shit. I can prove it. She said it in the interview. I want to do a whole breakdown on it. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, I'm going to tell you like this. This is what happened. The money was left on the table because, you know, they trying to work with people that have their own LLC. So when she said 2 things that probably sounded confusing in the interview, which was they only been working with him for 6 months, and then she said they been with Joe DeGuardio for 3 years, people probably thought, I thought she said 6 months. No, he started Star Boxing LLC 6 months ago. That's what happened. And they only been signed with Star Boxing for 6 months. But Star Boxing got started 6 months ago, right around the time when he made the deal with BLK. BLK is behind this shit. You know what I'm saying? And when he was negotiating, when they were negotiating with his manager for Adrien Broner to come in, and he splits with the manager. Like basically the manager, they gave the manager the blueprint to get him to sign over all his rights to him, and he just give him a big upfront payment. They looking for gumps over there. They ain't looking for nobody business savvy. They don't want to do what Al Heyman doing, you know what I'm saying, and just work with the fighters honestly and shit like that. They don't want to do good business. They trying to implement kind of the old guard slave trade kind of way of doing business with the new way of event promoting over there at BLK. But you know what? I'm gonna break it down though for y'all. That's all I got for y'all right now. What boxing is not talking about. And yeah, just remember, man, you can play games, but you can't play boxing. That's all I got for y'all, man. I'm out.
Right hand on top. Right hand on top.